Everything old is new for playing the game with HG chibi characters. What? What an achievement. Hi, Maggie. Why do you have a hat? That's not your security outfit. So why do you have the hat?
I guess I still let her keep that. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I want to find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we're being kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
Yeah, she's shaking
Look
with
at
the
her
head.
movements.
True. So then what now? Looks like my life is finally falling into yet another gigantic ditch.
Somebody, quickly, call Phoenix.
Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway.
Why is there a basketball in here?
That's a very good question. Why is there a basketball?
How did I only just notice it?
The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Okay.
Cool.
Well,
let's see. What is suspicious?
Ooh, there's something
Something under here.
Ooh, that looks like a file.
It's space.
One versus select inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny.
Examine.
It's... isn't that the missing O-series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it as clear as day. Seems to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these O files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. There's a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belong to the high prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, so let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. And that means the thief must have also wanted a file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. When the page related to the case from 10 years ago, I'm missing.
Oh no. What was 10 years ago? Was it the DL6 incident?
Better not be. When why anyone would care about such an old case?
Which case? Because if it's DL6, I might yell at somebody.
Have you check? Well, check the cushion anyway, and there might be something about it. I don't know.
I'm deeply... I have to.
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why did they just call him prosecutor?
To be sure, I might have within the walls of the prosecutor's office no trifling matter. You must find and apprehend and punish the killer quarterly post-haste. Sounds like a missing case you've got in your hands. If you ever feel lost, need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious, I will keep your offer in mind. Where's this guy again? He doesn't even know. That's why we don't get a name. He doesn't even know who Payne is.
Okay, what is this basketball for?
What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portman's prized possession, so that's also the basketball hoop up there.
Wait, are we neighbors?
It seems so. I heard you also play soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. Not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in the hallway.
I mean, I don't disagree.
What is a basketball hoop doing here?
I agree. What the hell?
Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors?
Haven't you been here for... It's been a month, dude. You'd think you'd know this.
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers track it up here recently. Track it? I heard it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. Oh,
now that sucks.
All the way up to the 12th floor. This office. 203, 203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? Mr. Portman, sir.
Wow, we really are neighbors.
He's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas?
Oh, I forgot I can run. Oh.
Let's check the pillows.
You know what? The running animation does not suit him.
It does not. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. Sitting is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. This baby is also great for napping, you know. You would sleep in and out here, detective. In a hallway. Never do I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Is that awful?
Oh my god. Anime Court. Ace Attorney Trilogy. It was all a dream.
It was all Gumshoe's dreams. Maybe I should give it a try sometime. Envision myself winning. Naturally.
Maggie, let's speak.
I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream! A dream where I'm being cross-examined by D. Miles Edgeworth? Damn, okay. Chill.
Did she never get cross-examined by Edgeworth?
I don't think so, no.
The cases she was in.
I don't think it's ever been with Edgeworth.
The one with the restaurant was that Godot?
That was Godot.
Or
that was Godot.
And who was it? And it was paying for the other one because that was the tutorial.
Yes. She has never been with Edgeworth.
Poor girl. And I'm kind of scared of her eyes.
Yeah,
I think she's become a demon.
Yeah, those eyes are very creepy. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. Let's ask about the victim first. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. And Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Yes, once I'd love to play with him. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in at all with that well with him. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective? She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir.
Then she was accused of murder. Then she became a restaurant server girl.
A waitress?
And then she was accused of murder again. And then she was stuck in prison for a month in her maid outfit. Then she was released, and now she's a security guard, and now she's now she's being accused again of murder.
Yeah, poor Miss Bird. One day she got caught in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. So I thought until a few hours ago.
I'm assuming this is after the whole maid fiasco.
I think so. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
So yeah, she was clocking out, so it was like the 3 or so.
Yeah. Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Oh, poor me.
Is she related to the Murphys by chance?
Who knows? I said I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment. But what? Wait, what? I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. You were on a police force. That is not easy.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, being around her sounds kind of fun.
Sounds like a lot of stuff happens.
At least the life would not be mundane.
Oh yeah, that's for certain. And now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard.
Maggie, this is the 3rd time you've been named a criminal.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wound up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Aw, he really has changed. Before he'd be like, she's guilty.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help.
Miss Bird, I am a prosecutor.
Yes, but it is very nice
my
cross.
profession, I prefer to keep it in my pocket.
Let's ask about the master
Okay,
key.
I just have to.
Oh. This is a prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor. Interesting. Despite all appearances, seems to know more than Gumshoe. With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, might I at least try that on, just for a little bit? I don't think that would be a very good idea, do you? I guess not. A second thought, they're actually at the same level. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And then I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. And I'm sure that between those 2 times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. That's important. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
Brilliant.
Use the master key. What did you mean by use the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Oh, that's cute. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right?
She didn't hit her face!
Yeah, she didn't hurt herself. She's learned. Ah! What is it? That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way. It's against regulations to loan the master keys out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally. Man, that outfit looks good on her, actually.
Yeah, it does. And there's only one feather to be seen, and that's in her hat.
Yep, I see. And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close to his office as he was leaving to go home. It was around 1:30 a.m., I think. In summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious!
Why would you need the master key to lock the door? Can you not lock it from the inside?
I guess not.
I guess regulation means for these that you have to lock the bolt as well.
Yeah, probably.
Not just the handle. Because for the bolt, you would need the master key.
And have you considered you've never left your keys at home, Detective? I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portman's door.
I agree.
Let's talk to the officer first. I'm a little bit curious.
But his door, it's right here.
But it's an officer.
But then I have to walk such a distance. Oh, I can't believe I had to walk like 7 steps for you.
Also gives you someone to voice. Is everything alright?
Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally at 154 pounds.
Congratulations. But I was asking about this hallway in this room.
It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Why did you weigh yourself at this time?
He is very dedicated, I guess.
Oh, everything's okay, sir.
And word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight.
Dude, rough.
Damn.
Okay, let's investigate this door.
Mr. Portman's personal basketball hoop. Can't believe you put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office. But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost?
To be fair, I'm also really poor at directions.
Room 1203. I take it this is Mr. Portman's office? Yeah, you can mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portman said I actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. Is he doing all this for a room?
Or maybe it's the old office files that were in 1202.
So why was Mr. Portman so particular about getting 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd? Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? It's obviously the files. Door's locked tight. I bet old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
I would hope not. It's probably bolted.
It's the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar get through them. Aha, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from?
Damn. Oh, I can just investigate the door itself.
Just investigate the door. A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's kind of majestic too, fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portman seemed dignified just because he works behind one of those. Nonsense, a man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he still seems dignified more dignified than Mr. Payne. Mr. Payne? Post custodial work can also be dignified.
We'll investigate my door, I guess.
I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
How? Edgeworth touched it.
This Phoebus, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind.
But seriously, Edgeworth touched it.
That's true. The detective has his own rewards and a certain purchase value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a potent trait that anyone can admire. I see. So you're saying, sir, that me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone?
No.
Right. And on pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. 1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone can proclaim this to be my office. Whoops! These number plates slide right out, sir. You have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know? Though, the key can be solution removed as kind of... Oh wait, we can do the thing where we combine stuff, can't we?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was an option.
Yeah, Q.
Q. Logic.
Ah, okay. Master key was stolen.
Approximately 1 a.m., but she used it at 1:30.
Yeah.
So are we logically saying these two?
I think so. Miss Spurr, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal! I mean, sir! You said that you locked up Mr. Portman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow! Nothing gets past you, Mr. Edgeworth! You saw that contradiction like a pro! I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit it to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
Brilliant.
You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door, then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Oh.
Sweet.
Oh, that means we can enter his room.
It's locked tight.
Oh, but that means someone did lock it.
Wait, I saw a button.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yeah.
Eureka!
There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. What Mrs. Bird has said is true. Why is this door locked tight? Huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't re-lock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means, what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all. Completely different. Because you can slide out the numbers.
Oh my god.
She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is, we need to examine these. The prints on the number plate, they will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like, well, for example, and such. All we know for sure is that the gumshoe dinner will only consist of instant noodles. Whoa, that was amazing, sir! How did you know? Is that supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is... The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you pal! Do us a favor and see what you can live from this, okay? So, what do you find? There's no need to such belligerent nostril flaring, detective.
Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob.
So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? Pretty decisive. Huh? I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be in this knob as well. And then whose print should also have been in this doorknob? Maggie's!
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean? Yes, the door that Mr. Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? Wait! The hoop has been moved.
What?
Look at the carpet.
Ah, so it has.
What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see, there's something written on it. Looks like a note from the victim. Yeah, and it's from Mr. Portsman. Let's have a read of that.
I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. Buddy.
Intriguing.
A basketball.
Is this the basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. That, Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Yeah, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. Better take a note of this.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that's...
now I feel much better.
That's how it works. Poking around this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? A variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit in this case. Do you know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspect it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
Not when he accused you?
That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on Truth's door. March 14, 5:12 a.m., High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. What was his voice again? I think it was just more fun. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. I think that's what it was. What the hell? Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
Oh!
What the hell? Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
Into the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jack Portsman, that you are the guilty part of this case.
You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see by through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl.
Ha! Who'd have thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Didn't he die thanks to a Mr. Phoenix Wright? The legendary prosecutor who'd never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know?
What's he doing with that jacket again?
Why do you do that? I'm not doing anything. So he just loops that.
Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although, that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything?
It's a Portsman's rebuttal.
I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I got work to do, so we're done here.
Sorry, but we're not finished yet.
Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something?
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on. With evidence.
So it'd be this one, right?
I think
and then
so.
Present. How do you propose they unlocked it?
That's the key?
I'm assuming.
Objection!
Oh, cool. I got an achievement.
I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did. Only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Maggie Bird.
Maggie?
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes?
Yeah. I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Miss Bird open at the time was not your own, was it? What?
You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we?
I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was on the right door, sir.
See? Miss Bird backs up my story.
Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
Ha! And how do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then use the other thing to give a very strong impression, one other thing, that the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. Was that Mr. Portman used to make Miss Bird think it was his room? The hoop?
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in your hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Yeah!
That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there.
That is the greatest face in existence.
It's so anime. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure.
Hey, I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off the racetrack. Conjecture's rebuttal.
Oh.
Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he?
I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
Yeah.
Rude.
My jacket's not dirty. I'll have you know, I just washed it yesterday.
Yeah, that jacket's not dirty. That jacket's pretty cool, actually. I wear it.
Huh? Please calm down. I intend to show who is the one truly caught in the slime here.
A rebuttal to the conjecture's rebuttal.
I think we have to press a bit here, because it doesn't seem like we have anything to present immediately. I think we should press from the top.
Hold it!
Or pressy, I guess. And what?
I can press from where I want.
And what were you doing in your office?
I was doing my usual training regime.
Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish?
Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance.
Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have.
And yet you're still less buff than Phoenix Wright.
With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem.
I was doing my usual workout, so this does not matter. I'm fairly sure that does not matter.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course.
Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right?
Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually.
Objection!
But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
And then what about all the evidence?
Objection!
It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence.
I know a few.
About that.
Seems to be trembling a little. One more little push, all I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony.
So what do we even have?
We need to present some.
For prints on the door.
Yeah. So we need to do that where do we need to do that? There.
Objection!
I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Mrs. Bird's fingerprint.
Her prints? What do they have to do with anything?
Well, let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Ah! I can't take that face seriously.
Further, all the prints on the office door's knob have been wiped clean off. On my office door's knob, to be.
So how did you open your door?
That's a very good question. I can only assume it's because Mrs. Bird's fingerprints were on it.
It's Miss Bird. You keep saying Mrs. She's not married
Sorry,
yet.
Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it.
Objection!
But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time.
Is that really a fact? Or is it fiction?
Hey, would I lie to you? Yes.
I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time, as you claim.
This letter?
I think the letter, yeah.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door. Oh, did you not notice?
I like this music.
Yeah, damn.
Intense.
And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing?
Ah!
Don't you think it's time you gave up on your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faye found you out. Possibly because you heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said, you had the gun to my back. No one gets away with committing murder in my office.
Time for an evil laugh, I guess. I don't know.
And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What? Miss Effort just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Here's the thing. I think the guy who pointed a gun at Edgeworth is not Portsman. And I think that was the mistake that Edgeworth did. He thought that guy was Portsman.
To be fair, we all did.
Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already.
And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down as well.
Yeah?
As well? I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. Why'd you say as well?
Yeah, why do you say as
I
well?
didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim and... Oh my god, guy calls him Jim.
Yeah, he calls him Jim.
That only Jim's and my own prints would be on there.
You made that just up now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left me, you know exactly when that was. For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. But if you went in there, you would have noticed.
Yeah. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, Even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters. Although that's no excuse.
And that's just a flat-out lie. That's not what you didn't notice a note that size.
Seriously. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? This guy.
Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Altman makes a good point. Can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner.
Okay. What's his alibi?
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will collaborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Yeah, so it obviously wasn't him that was pointing the gun at Edgeworth. You really think that it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe? Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check this alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portman said. You're fast at running, Gumshoe. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere.
Hold on. What exactly do we even have? That doesn't matter. The body was found at around 2:05. That's less important.
Only one shot.
It was one shot fired. Wiped.
We might need to press a bit to see if we can get some more information out. Because pressing will...
Still doesn't explain why this is locked.
Yeah, but I think we need to press a little bit to get some more information out if we can.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however...
Yes, however, you are not the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. You were down in criminal affairs.
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit?
Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. We did ask around.
Yep, so that's a perfect alibi.
But screw it.
Yeah, we might as well press. Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at their... around that time.
See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Bosman's alibi may seem perfect at first glance. I know there's a hole in somewhere. I'd like to just press him a little and see what comes of it. Press?
I guess I'll press this.
Hold it!
You are correct. It was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and I make no mistake, it was 2.
Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
Possible. He actually does have a perfect alibi. Okay, so the idea,
It's one of
was
those you had to press everything then.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that was the idea.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Can you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there, sir, please escort that young lady out. But remember, be gentle.
Murky! Detective Gumshoe!
What is going on here?
Is there nothing I can do? Must be a way to turn the situation around. Only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through. One more time, and with logic. Mr. Portman's alibi, another handgun. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket.
Oh no, not the jacket you don't wear.
However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight.
Okay. Guess. It's incorrect.
Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. You know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, which shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of two different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and killed him with it. Once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. We suppose that the culprit's second gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great! So you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part. From the start, I assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? Sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, two culprits stole into my office tonight.
What a popular office.
What do you mean, two?
Explains why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were two guns. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know?
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, return to my scenario. Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then this would mean when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And just when he was about to look somewhere else. Who would walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
Why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman. That's why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into the office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him and then killed him. Silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Damn, he's biting down on his metal.
Man, his poor teeth.
This was the moment in which the first shot was fired. The one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room. This is where it gets complicated.
There was another?
Visitor, sir?
Yes, and this person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that. And so, they stole the master key from the security guard's room. Oh my god, I didn't actually think about that. That actually makes a lot of sense with the timeline. That Mr. Portsman never actually had to steal the thing. He just used Bird, obviously. But this guy had to actually steal the key. Then enter my room and search through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
Stolen the serial file, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
The shelves getting messed up twice, the two bullets. It was all because two different people were doing those things at different times.
Precisely. Now you see, Mr. Portsman, the person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid! Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does, it's Mr. Edgeworth's after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. I hate this text being so slow. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. Will you stop with the coat? But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Miss Edgeworth, you can't let me get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir.
I mean, there's no proof Miss Bird did it either.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
This is long.
Yeah, damn.
What is this music?
I think it's his theme or something.
I like it. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect. Wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. No, they won't. It's been hours. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions.
I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we?
Oh no.
I know he's lying. I know he was here. Scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. I do like Edgeworth. Edgeworth is very aggressive.
Yeah. Sure, let's just press.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the 0 files, right?
That's how we also know the letters themselves were set up. Not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. We should be looking out there for the thief.
Hold it!
I find it unlikely they'd be near.
Once escaped, I had out a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after.
Oh? You talk like you know quite a bit about this thief.
It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training my room, blah, 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 blah.
But according to Mr. Faith's note...
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left a note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered.
I don't have any, no.
You see? So I insist that I was in my office the entire time. That's not possible.
That is a contradiction right there. He just contradicted himself.
That's literally impossible.
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
Ha! That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. Why?
What of the evidence he brought?
They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. 3 items.
Interesting. Piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
But it's 3 items.
Yeah, it's free. You literally contradicted yourself.
Objection!
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. I think that's Edgeworth's scene.
I think so, yeah. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully. It says Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
Hey, I can't believe it. To get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's...
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe?
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
What was that? Don't come any closer. I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this?
I don't know.
Get this on him, sir.
It's a videotape. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
But why would he hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would how do you say that word?
Unequivocally.
Because
Unequivocally.
Because it would unequivocally point to that person. Unequivocally.
It's a tough one to say.
Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. See, that was a good take. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail.
Edgeworth talks so fast, then you have this other dude. I just don't want to talk like. at all.
But a section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin.
KG8. Okay, it's not the DL6. Okay, come on, game. Oh, there's blood.
Oh shit, that's a big thing. Let's look at the case first, though. I want to know what it is. KG8 incident?
That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is the evidence from that case?
Interesting. Yeah, but that's what's recorded in this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. So it's the blood that's important.
No. Spinny.
Wee!
Ah, that's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. And this blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No. You got it all wrong.
A man in denial can save you. You're about to run a blood test to find the truth? You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us. When and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video? Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
And even we were to examine this tape for fingerprints?
Yeah!
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No! Impossible! I'm... Oh my god! I'm very concerned for this guy now.
Must be the fake. Last between 5:47 a.m. Hyperscrews office room 1202.
It's actually a chocolate medallion.
Probably.
Mr. Morons has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. Artwork came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so much. So very much, Mr. Edgeworth.
Did you hit yourself in the face again?
I think she actually did.
Put your hat on.
I can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. Ow.
Stop hitting yourself.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean.
I pity you, Maggie.
Consider myself lucky it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. Okay. If it'd been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Ow.
Brilliant.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail.
Nah, it keeps things interesting.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
I heard there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. Seen rumors about how something of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
What is with this world and forging evidence?
Yeah, poor justice system. Forged evidence, huh?
They say he even decided to not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reason.
Oh, he was probably paid off. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. Yeah, we did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we get near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although we can be pretty certain it was to steal something.
It's just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh no, is it the Mafia?
Ah, yes, the Illuminati.
Don't say it's the Mafia.
Oh, well. When Mr. Portman not willing to divulge anything, certainly lends credence to that rumor.
So, if the Mafia is involved, does that mean the Master of Disguise, Tigre, will show up?
If Tigre shows up, it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Wait a second, wait. What if, and hear me out, what if Maggie Bird is Tigre right now?
That's true, there is a lack of feathers. I only see 5 feathers. Maggie Bird would have at least like 10 or 12.
I know, I think that's actually Tigre.
It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? Then Mr. Portman isn't the bad guy?
Oh, he is.
I didn't say that. Rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve.
As long as it's not relating to the DL6 incident.
It's going to be this KG8, I think. We still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence.
This?
Yeah.
Take that!
The person who stole this file. You're the villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder. Who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Yes?
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir!
This card.
Oh my god! I have no idea what that is.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
Not sure I would have called it a bird, but
It's
whatever.
not just any bird.
Apparently it is!
It is the mark of the raven. A 3-legged raven.
Ah, that one.
Even you should know what this is, Detective.
So, Maggie Bird is part of them. Part of the Ravens.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about.
Oh, a great thief. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yatakarasu.
What? Who is Yatagarasu?
On the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatakarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Oh, three-legged raven probably means Yatakarasu, doesn't it? Oh, Yatakarasu means three-legged bird, three-legged raven. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, Yatakarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Yatakarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing.
Oh, how terrible. What a terrible phantom thief.
Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since Yatakarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Miss Edgeworth, looks like something is written on the back.
What? Let me see.
And it's located where the thief put the stolen files.
That's runes.
How can you read that, Gumshoe?
How can you read Scandinavian runes?
Or is that Japanese?
It could be Japanese.
Because they have like 3 different written
Oh yeah, it could be
languages,
Japanese. It just
technically.
looks runic to me. Yeah, it's Japanese. Sorry.
It's one of them. I don't know which one.
But the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatakarasu organization. Quite a few keywords are popping up in this mystery.
Indeed.
Murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatakarasu. Looking back, can't say I didn't see these events coming, but they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago.